In order to implement stronger security measures, Salesforce has announced a requirement for all customers to enable multi-factor authentication or MFA by 1st of February 2022. As per Salesforce, MFA is one of the easiest, most effective tools for enhancing login security and safeguarding your business and data against security threats. MFA adds another layer of security to your login process by requiring users to enter two or more pieces of evidence or factors to prove they are who they say they are. One factor is what the user knows, such as their username and password combination. Additional factors are verification methods that the user has in their possession, such as an authenticator app that generates a one-time PIN or OTP. In this video, I will take you through details of the MFA requirement and the steps to enable MFA for your org using time-based one-time passwords. Beginning 1st February 2022, all Salesforce customers are contractually required to use MFA in order to access Salesforce products. To help customers meet the requirement, Salesforce will begin automatically enabling MFA for users who log in directly to Salesforce products. Admins will still have the option to disable MFA if the users aren't ready yet. After the requirement deadline, Salesforce will gradually start enforcing MFA by making it a permanent part of the direct login process and removing controls for admins to disable it. Users who access Salesforce products through SSO won't be affected by auto-enablement and enforcement actions. But remember that MFA is contractually required for all Salesforce users who authenticate via SSO. This means if you are using Azure AD to implement SSO, you must enable and enforce MFA at Azure AD level for your user authentication. Salesforce are working to finalize the auto enablement and enforcement dates, and these will vary by product. For most of the products, these dates are ranging between May and June 2022. Let us look at the various verification methods available for implementing MFA. So Salesforce Authenticator is a free app provided by Salesforce. It is a smart and simple mobile app that users can easily connect to their Salesforce accounts. It is a mobile app and available on both iOS and Android. It delivers a push notification to the user's phones for fast access and automates the authentication from trusted locations. If connectivity isn't available, the Salesforce Authenticator will generate a time-based OTP code. Third-party authenticator apps. These apps generally they generate unique temporary verification codes which are based on the OAuth TOTP algorithm. Apps for multiple operating systems are available, and there are a wide variety of apps to choose from. Connectivity is not required. Security keys are physical devices that use public key cryptography. USB or Lightning connector devices are available, and these are fast and easy to use. The issues with security keys is that the keys can be lost, left unattended, or they're kept plugged in all the time. The physical device also has logistics involved in it, and that may be one consideration for you for selecting this verification method. The built-in authenticator verifies the identity with fingerprint, iris, or facial recognition. Some examples would be Windows Hello, Touch ID, or Face ID. Now let's look at a demo of how to set up MFA for Salesforce in your org. Click on Setup, and in the Setup Quick Find box, type permission. Click on Permission Sets, and we'll add a new permission set for the multi-factor authentication requirement. Let's fill in the label multi-factor authentication requirement. The API name will be auto-populated, and in the description, we'll just put it enables MFA requirement when users log into Salesforce. For licenses, leave it as none. If you want, you can apply it to a particular Salesforce license or some other license, but I'll leave it as none, so it applies to all users, all licenses. Save this permission set. Now we'll set up the system permissions. In system permissions, click on Edit, scroll down and find the multi-factor authentication requirement. So multi-factor authentication for user interface logins. This is the one we're looking for. So we'll enable that. It requires users to provide an additional verification method. That's the one we want. So let's save this permission set. Save it. Right. In the next step, we will assign this permission set to users. So we'll click on Manage Assignments, Add Assignments, and select the user for whom the MFA has to be enabled. Click Done. The login process for the user will change after MFA is enabled. The first time the user logs in after MFA is enabled, they will be prompted to register a verification method. This verification method will be used every time the user logs in after this. Salesforce Authenticator is the default method, and there is an option to choose another verification method as well. We saw the various options in a previous slide. Salesforce Authenticator or third-party apps will require the users to download the app from Google Play or App Store if they are not already installed on their phones. If you're using the Salesforce Authenticator, you will open the app and click on Add an Account. The app generates a unique two-word phrase. The user enters this phrase in Salesforce and clicks Connect. This finishes the setup for the user. Next time the user logs in with their username and password, they will additionally see an authentication request on their mobile. And they will need to approve this in order to log in. A third-party app will work based on the time-based OTP being generated in the app and entered in Salesforce. The user can add Salesforce to the third-party app by scanning the QR code that is generated by Salesforce while registering for an MFA. MFA can be a big change for your users. Plan for and follow the change management practices to introduce MFA in your organization. The impact and the selection of the verification method will vary based on whether your company already requires MFA for other applications or if this is a completely new experience for your users. If you're already using MFA for other applications, your users would already be used to providing an additional factor of authentication, and they will be familiar with the MFA requirements. If this is something totally new for your users, it will require more intensive communication and training to be planned for. In any case, you will require to communicate about the upcoming changes to the users. Explain the rationale for this additional step being required by Salesforce. Plan for the training and hand-holding of the users for the MFA registration and verification process. Identify the champions across departments who can help users in each department. Depending on the number of users impacted and the size of your support team, plan for the launch in phases. Prepare for the go-live issues and troubleshooting. Update your knowledge base in your ticketing system and your company intranet. Finally, keep monitoring the adoption reports and user logins to check for any anomalies after the introduction of the MFA. I hope this training has been useful for you in setting up the MFA and meeting the Salesforce requirements by the 1st of February 2022. Thanks. Bye.